I do, but I look at the
Right.
streams,
Look at
the
other
parks, the
things,
tips
yeah.
and flood, and all that
Right.
stuff. you know.
Good, how are you? Good morning.
And hopefully,
How are you, sir? It's pretty smooth in the pitch, I think.
what I said here was
Yeah.
Right.
Keep us that.
improve where we can.
Sure. Michael? Super, yeah.
Morning, Michael, how are you?
I'm all right, so.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Morning.
How's everything going?
You have your case
Oh,
with you?
yeah?
Larry, keep an eye on that guy next to you.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
It is. Sure.
It doesn't matter to me.
It does not matter. I'm just here for that one item, and then so why don't you take us a place where you're most comfortable? You'll be here long.
I think you will want that. Yeah. So it's good. No, I don't want it.
She was riding around yesterday with the biggest litigation I've ever seen. Yeah.
Her lawyer.
It was huge.
I know.
You've got a lot of cash there?
I help them. That's why I brought the big guns. Yeah. Yeah. It was so funny. I was going to text you at the week I waited for you. Then you texted me. I'm like, oh yeah, we meant to do that. Yeah, I requested that, but I meant to text you on Monday when I got back from Thanksgiving. But I came back to like 300 emails. You know what that is. No. I only brought 10 pages of notes. Yeah, I saw the nice little recess.
Yeah. Probably just one. Okay.
You have a recess for hours?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how are you?
We don't.
See,
We literally say, okay, we
Working.
It's just.
We'll recess.
What do you think about Bill Drew?
Oh, I don't.
Oh my God.
Right out. Come on, come on.
It's
like a
almost
bad
fair. It's almost
You
fair.
know what, I just learned, she's got a bigger bag than we do.
We saw her commissioner
Howdy.
yesterday.
How are you?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Good morning. Morning, sir. Got, no, yeah, how about it? How are you?
Good morning.
How you doing? We wanted to see if you were wearing a Christmas tie.
We're gonna miss you.
Morning.
It's great.
It's not.
Well, they are moving, and I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I didn't know where it was. I saw it was still, yeah.
Okay. Their main building.
Okay. Great.
Oh, no.
Good?
Yeah, yeah.
That might be a deal breaker for me.
You guys had a retiree tie.
I thought about that today, I won't be putting tie on much anymore. Or the
At
suit.
least make sure you put your pants on in the morning. okay?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think
Once
we
I get out of the
make
house.
Zoom meetings by just the top half of you.
Yeah, is that some daisies?
Morning, everyone. We ask you to please rise for the opening prayer and the pledge of allegiance.
This morning, Commissioner Maravito is going to lead us.
Please join me in bowing our heads in prayer, reflection, and supplication. As we pray and reflect on the condition of our world, we recognize days that remind us of our obligations to each other and to maintain peace in the world. Last Monday, November 20th, was Universal Children's Day. We pray for all children. This past Saturday, November 25th, was the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. We pray to eliminate violence against women. And today, November 30th, is the day of remembrance for all victims of chemical warfare. We pray for these victims. As we pray to end violence in the world, we're mindful that violence by individuals, or violence by groups, or violence by nations is all still violence. We know that violence brings more violence. We remember the words of Martin Luther King Jr. If we succumb to the temptation of using violence, unborn generations will be the recipients of a long and desolate night of bitterness, and the chief legacy to the future will be an endless reign of meaningless chaos. So let us move from this method. The weakness of this method is its futility. It creates many more problems than it solves. There is an alternative to violence. It is possible to achieve justice through nonviolence. And so today we say a prayer for peace and for nonviolence in our world. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. In this we pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. At this time, we'll convene our Commissioners' public meeting and ask for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Move to approve.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Do we have public comment on agenda items only? From anyone? Any online? No. Okay, we'll move on to bid openings. Nikki?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
We have one bid for the polling place ADA renovations. We received 3 bids for those. Gray Builders, $265,000. Woolneck Construction, $162,157.59. And Big Rock Paving, $200,000.
Okay, thank you. Move on to reports. Kayla, morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Presented for your ratification are invoices due through December 6, 2023, to be paid on November 29, 2023, for $1,582,561.70. The breakdown is as follows, with 48.32% being funded by the general fund at $764,614.69. 1.58% being funded by Act 13 grants at $25,000. 3.95% is being funded by pass-through grants and other sources at $62,587.77. 45.51% is being funded by RMS at $720,210.76. And 0.64% is being funded by escrow at $10,148.48.
Okay, thank you. A motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And next I have, presented for your ratification, is the revised first poll worker pay run to be paid on November 21st, 2023 for $87,581.17. And this is funded 100% through those court funds.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Under comments, we've had some issues with the cards, with the payments. very closely and try to get these things cleared up so that run smoothly in the spring. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to information items. Amy, library system update.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning on update on the library. And John and Arlene, this is Olivia. Morning, John. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having
And the rest of your board members with you.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Commissioners and Director, for giving me a few minutes of time today. For those who don't know me, I'm Amy Resch. I'm the System Administrator for the Lycoming County Library System and the Executive Director of the James B. Brown Library. And today I want to share some information about County Coordination Aid grant funds that the system will receive from the state. But before I do that, I want to take a moment to thank the county for their continued support of county library service. The Lycoming County Library System has had 425,000 physical item checkouts and 49,000 digital material checkouts from January 1st of this year through October 31st. So we still have a few months left to go, but I brought some information to share with you too. County Coordination Aid is a state grant fund that matches a portion of county funding. And the purpose of these grant funds is noted in the Pennsylvania State Library Statute. It states, a county library or library system shall expend funds received under this section to implement a countywide cooperative plan to improve and extend service. The plan shall coordinate areas of library service and administration, including library resources and collections, technology, personnel, and services to children, adults, and special collections. Now, we all know that our county is the largest in Pennsylvania by land area, meaning some of our residents are very far away from one of our 8 local library or link locations. One way our system can reach these patrons all over our county is via outreach services. Our county is very fortunate to have 3 bookmobiles, and we have these to support this important work. Our system uses County Coordination Aid funds we receive from the state to support 3 full-time positions on the bookmobile, which serves our adult patrons, Books Bus, which is our newest vehicle, and it serves patrons birth to age 18, and our Storymobile, which serves patrons from birth to 5 years of age. And from January 1st through October 31st of this year, 115,000 items were checked out from these 3 vehicles alone. We also use the County Coordination Aid grant funds to support a daily intra-library delivery service, meaning that they go between the 6 library locations. So what does that mean for a patron? That means if you request an item that's at the Muncie Library, but the Conkle Library is only a block from your house, what you can do is you can put in a request for that item and it will be delivered to the library of your choice. And what that will do for you as the patron is it will save you fuel, wear and tear on your vehicle, and most importantly, your time. So that is a service that our patrons tell us over and over again that they absolutely love. And the materials only take a day or 2 to come to the library you want it to. So it's really fantastic. Are there any questions about how the system uses County Coordination Aid grant funds? Okay, I have some handouts, I'll make sure you get those. But I am going to pivot real quickly to telling you a little bit about some statistics from the James B. Brown Library, since I'm also the executive director there. From January through October 31st of 2023, we hosted 528 programs. We've given out 2,357 new library cards, and we've had 81,326 patron visits. And the year is not over yet. Going into December, we're hosting so many exciting programs and continuing to cultivate community partnerships. On December 1st, we're partnering with the Lycoming College Planetarium to allow patrons of all ages to visit the college and learn more about space. We're also going to be providing some materials for checkout, and it's a really fantastic way for people in our community to get out and to get to know each other. On December 12th, our cookbook club is hosting its annual cookie exchange, which we all love that one. And on December 14th, the Cross Stitch Club is working on snowflake ornaments, which is really fantastic for those that have challenges with fine motor skills, and it's a great way for people in our community to get together, especially when it's the lonely time of year with the seasons. In addition to these wonderful activities, the library has processed 1,476 passports and 427 renewals. This is a service that we offer our community, and we have been told over and over how much people really appreciate and enjoy that we offer that service. We can only do, this is something that, we have something for everyone of all ages at the library. And we can do the work that we do in part because the county supports library service. Are there any questions about system or library services that I can answer today?
So let's say that we don't have a book in the library system at all,
Oh, yeah,
but they go, and it's happened on Friday, I went for a book, or the weekend, I should say,
sure.
and they said, oh, we don't have it, but it's in Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens?
That's a great question, Commissioner. So that would be inter-library loan. So what happens is one of our staff members will put in a request for you to get that material from another library in the state or even the United States. We work with other libraries all across the country, and we will get that item in for you to use, and doesn't cost you anything. So it's a really fantastic service, and we have lots of ILL services too. I actually have a little bit of information in my packet for you about interlibrary loan too. Would you mind? There's one for each of you. Thank you so much.
Just a comment on the last thing. People need to think about how profound that is. You can get basically in rural Pennsylvania, in little old Williamsport, county of 112,000 people, you can get a document that you need from anywhere in the country. And that says a lot, because not every community has that, quite frankly. In
Yes.
fact, libraries that don't have library systems tend to not be able to provide the coordination and the infrastructure needed to do that. For example, Northumberland doesn't have a library system. They just have individual libraries. Every library is on its own
Yep.
for figuring out what to do with IT, HR, ordering books, what the latest books are. The difference here is that we leverage the intellectual capital of 6 libraries, the staffing, the people, and the financial resources. So instead of each library dealing with its own IT, we have one IT person at James Reed Brown who actually can go out and do things, which we know even in the county, we know with our computer problems, just keeping computers up to date.
Oh,
I think it's important, especially for the new commissioners, to realize that for people who come to look at a community as to where they want to settle, that makes a big difference. Especially, tell us about the kids, right? The kids who come to the library.
Well, I will say that in the Welsh Wing area of the library, that is one of our most heavily used area of the library, especially in the evenings and the weekends. And I would say that a vast majority of our programming is for kids under the age of 18. And we really focus on that because we know that if children and teens and tweens are at the library, then they are cultivating positive relationships, and they are feeling engaged and they feel welcome in the community, and they're less likely to maybe get into some trouble, which we definitely don't want. So I would say that our children's programming is absolutely robust at all of our member libraries. They all do a fantastic job of highlighting the different needs that they have in their community. So we're really fortunate in our system to have, as Commissioner Mirabito said, really fantastic libraries.
I would encourage the new commissioners to just go on a Saturday. I was amazed when I saw a father coming in. He had 3 kids in tow and a pile of puzzles and games that he was bringing back to the library that you can, in other words, instead of going out, you go to the toy store and it's $50 or $75 for a Lego set, or $150. Families can actually get this material, take it home, use it, bring it back.
Yes, it's actually something that a lot of our homeschool families say that they love about the library too, is they can rent things instead of buying them first. They'll rent them to see if their children are actually going to use them. And then what they can do is they can decide whether or not they want to add it to their collection. We also have a vast number of programming for homeschool families, which is really fantastic because it's a way for those children to get to know other children. It's a way for families to connect and share resources and materials and experiences.
Awesome. Would it be possible to get a copy of the data that you presented?
Oh, yes, of course.
That way we can put it in the minutes.
I also sent a copy to Mary Rose.
Oh.
Oh, perfect.
And maybe you
Sure.
Way ahead.
send this digitally to Mary Rose so that we can get this is the library system, get it posted on the website because it
I'd
shows
love to do that.
where the libraries are. It's a beautiful pamphlet.
Yes, it's really fantastic, and it really shows how so much of our county, there really is a need for library service. 20% of the people in Lycoming County don't have home internet access, and we know from the when we go out on the road that that's a big need that we are filling because each of our vehicles has Wi-Fi access. So a lot of our people know that if they need tech support or help when the bookmobile is at their area, which is like every other week, they know that they can go there and get help from our librarians. And, with so many services online, it makes it really difficult. So it's wonderful. Well, thank you all again.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to make a comment here. When you talk about how many patrons you have coming through James B, and you just do the simple math, you're on track for doing about 1,000, right? That's you have about 313 days, somewhere around that you're open.
Right.
That's 281 on an average people per day.
Yes.
281 people per day. And if you took that out by the 47 hours that you're open in a week, right? I believe you're open.
We're open 56 hours a week.
56?
Yes. Yeah,
I
we've
thought I saw
edited,
your
you're
quiz
right,
on
we
it.
have edited that since then, but
Okay.
I figured I'd give you the ones that
That's
the new ones
that's
yet, to
the
save some
math
paper.
The math will be close.
But it's still a really powerful statistic, the number of people that are impacted every day.
Yes. A business would love to have 281 people
Yes.
coming through the business. Not to mention the logistics on how to deal with them.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're there for more than 1 hour.
Yes, and there are a lot of different needs that there are in the community, so we try to realize that we can't be everything for everyone, but we try to do the best that we can. So, it's
And
really
do a great
important.
job.
Commissioner, you make a good point, and one of the things that is a challenge is that as the weather gets cold,
Mm.
or when the weather is extremely hot, the library becomes a sanctuary for
It is.
people who have nowhere to go.
Yes,
Uh,
we're really lucky that we kind of phased in moving our hours because we have a large number of people that are waiting at the door because they don't really have somewhere else to go at 9 a.m. when we open. So we have a wait to get in most mornings. And we had it in the summer too when we opened at 10 because it was so hot for so many weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can do it because of the county's support, so I'm really grateful.
Why don't you introduce the people that came with you today?
Oh, of course. I'm so fortunate to have with me today the president of the Board of Trustees, John Comfort. Robin DeGiratu is the assistant director of the James B. Brown Library. And Kristen Kringy is the chief financial officer for the James B. Brown Library and the Lycoming County Library System. And Larry Stout is also on the board of the Lycoming County Library System. Thank you. He wasn't sitting over there, I was like down the line. So it's really fantastic, and our libraries do really important work, so I just want to thank you.
I want to give compliments again to the Concord Library, which
Yes,
is
fantastic.
my hometown, and the renovations they did.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
especially with the children's wing. And my grandkids go over to the story time,
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
they enjoy the children's wing very, very much. But the renovations were long overdue, and they did a beautiful job with that building.
Yes, the first time that I visited, I had asked if they had any pictures of the old space, and oh my goodness, what a beautiful job they did. It's really fantastic.
I used to help with the when probation, we used to go down and do the book sales. We would take some of our clients down to carry the books up in the basement.
Yeah.
And then take them back down to the basement. What was not sold, and they could barely get through the aisles with the books.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's so much wide open space now that.
Yeah, I
it's
love
like
that they.
two different buildings when you look at the past to the present.
Oh, yes, and what they did was they made the shelves movable, which I thought was so smart for the space that they do have, because it really makes it multifunctional now.
Yeah.
You know, they can host movie nights and so many other things that they couldn't do before. It's really wonderful.
And someone who was in a wheelchair in the past could barely get down those aisles.
For sure.
And if someone was coming down the aisle, they would have to back up, and now they don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's really wonderful,
So it's much more handicap accessible.
definitely.
And you know, the other point you raised is a good one, which is that behind all these libraries are a mountain of volunteers that are doing, like that money that was raised, all the people that work to raise that. I mean, Larry's been involved with the library for probably at least 20 years, right? John Confer's been on the board of the James Free Brown for 35 years.
Yep.
Right? And then there are people who aren't here today in the community who volunteer their time. It's like, I was thinking about that this morning. So much of what we do, we don't see behind it all the faces. But the Conco expansion is a good example. They raised the money, so we need to thank them also.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. We're really fortunate to have, like I said, very robust library service in this county. And our taxpayers, they love the services that we offer, so it's wonderful. So thank you again.
Thank you. You had tough shoes to fill, and you're doing a very good job.
Oh, gosh, thank you, Commissioner, I appreciate that. Thank you again. Have a great holiday.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Morning, who do we have joined us? Hello?
Beth, are you on?
Hi, this is Jamie with Cedarcog.
Okay, morning, Jamie.
Beth is on.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging up, Matt. Me too, of me.
Right.
Stereophonic.
Feedback.
Okay.
All right, moving on to personnel actions. I'll do that for Melinda. She can run that to a meeting.
And 1 second, the library folks are welcome to stay if you like. If not, I know you're very busy.
We're gonna head out. Thank you
Yep.
so much.
Yep, thank you for being here, and you're welcome to stay if you like. If not, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Commissioners, seeking your approval on the following personnel actions as conditional offers of employment subject to the successful completion of a background check and all other employment conditions as outlined in attachment A. In the Conservation District, Emmeline Gillen, agricultural conservation technician, full-time replacement, $42,660.80 per year, 75-hour pay period, transfer date December 10, 2023. In the District Attorney Office, Catherine D. Silva, Clerk 3, Victim Witness Clerk part-time replacement, $16.17 per hour, not to exceed 3,000 hours in a year. Start date December 4, 2023. In the District Attorney, Curtis Whelan, Office Administrator, full-time replacement, $18.73 per hour, 75 hours per pay period. Transfer date December 24, 2023. In the District Attorney's Office, Alexandria Hensler, Trial Clerk Manager, full-time replacement, $20.54 an hour, 75 hours per pay period. Transfer date December 24, 2023. In the Pre-Release Center, Shayla Weiland, Resident Supervisor 1, part-time replacement, $18.10 per hour, not to exceed 1,000 hours in a year. Start date December 12, 2023. In the Department of Public Safety, Kennedy Kitchen, telecommunicator, trainee, full-time replacement, $18.72 per hour, 80 hours per pay period. start date December 11, 2023. In information technology, Bruce Mushino, technical analyst, full-time replacement, $55,000 per year, 75-hour per pay period, start date December 4, 2023. And in adult probation, Ethan Newton, adult probation officer 2, full-time replacement, $23.82 an hour, 80-hour pay period, transfer date December 10, 2023.
Okay, a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All fair side?
Aye.
So carried. Okay, at this time, we will recess the Commissioners' Public Meeting for the Salary Board and convene the Salary Board at this time.
Salary Board, seeking your approval on the following Salary Board actions as outlined in Attachment B. In the Department of Public Safety, request to approve the telecommunicator bonus program from December 2022 to December 2025. This is some administrative cleanup on the bonus program that was continued, and we just slipped through the cracks. In the Conservation District, request to add a temporary agricultural technician position to the TDA until January 12, 2024. And in the District Attorney's Office, request to add a temporary chief detective position from 11 December 2023 to 31 December 2023.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Have a second? All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to clarify the 911 bonus, that was something we had discussed and passed, approved in the past, and what we did is we extended it for a slight bit of time here.
Yeah, correct. It was approved when we kind of reorganized everything
Right.
with the telecommunicator trainees, and the bonuses were attached to meeting certain training criteria in the gates, which were all PEMA requirements. And so we used it for a while, and then we were kind of in a status quo as far as the training goes, and we didn't have the ability to put any more folks in the training pipeline, and that.
Right.
And we have the Director Beth on the line. Beth, you have anything you'd like to add to it?
Other than, not a lot, other than I think it gives trainees something to work toward. This is not for all telecommunicators. This is just for trainees coming in. Gives them a little more to work toward to get to the, to the end of each training cycle to get that small, that bonus of $1,000. And then I think it helps retain them because at the end of their training, they don't get the bulk of the bonus until they've been here for another year after their training's over. So, the point is to get people in, let them look forward to that bonus, and then retain them after they're trained. So I do think it's a helpful item.
Can you explain to the public the challenges you've had to acquire employees?
It is very difficult here to hire a trainee and get them through training. It's a very difficult training process. It usually takes around 10 months, sometimes a little longer for training. We do get people in, they get started, they realize it's not the job for them. We lose a lot of trainees due to the fact that, it sounds like a good job, it's a good paying job. Once they come in and they start working and they start hearing the calls, they realize mentally a lot of times it's not something that they want to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And some of them, it's just simply not something they're capable of doing on a day-to-day basis. It's a lot of multitasking, it's being on the phone, operating the computer, operating the radio, numerous things at one time. I do get a lot of applicants, but that doesn't mean they're capable of doing the job. It takes a very special person with a very special mentality to do this job. We're very fortunate right now. We have 3 people in training in various stages that are all doing very well. And I'm looking forward to getting Kennedy in and getting her through the classroom part of the training, which takes a couple of months, and then getting her out into the comm center and getting her going as well. So it takes a special person. That's all I have to say. It really does. So we're blessed whenever we get people that come in and are capable of doing the job and completing training.
These are very stressful calls that have to do with life and death situations often.
Yes.
Do you have openings now, Beth?
Yes. 3 that we have in training right now, once they are all, if they all succeed, which I fully believe they will, I will still have 3 openings for telecommunicators once they're all trained and in positions. However, we still have a training coordinator position open. So once they are trained and in positions, I will need to promote into a training coordinator position that has been vacant now for about a year, which will take 1 person out of the comm center, so it'll put us back to 4 openings again. I've been multitasking with the training coordinator position myself and juggling the training, and people in the comm center actually do the training, but I do the structure of the training outline and update with PIMA. So I've been doing that since we haven't had a training coordinator, and one of my midnight shift employees have been doing the quality assurance, so the training coordinator position is responsible for all of that. So we need to promote into that, which will bring us back down 1. So yeah, we'll, even after these 3 are done and in place, we'll still be down 4. And hopefully Kennedy will be one of those 4 spots, so then we'll only be down 3.
And Beth, on behalf of the commissioners, please thank your staff and yourself also. We want to thank you for your service. You know, these jobs are very difficult, very stressful. You can't just hang up the phone and walk away. They're life and death situations, so we want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to
Okay,
action.
one second. This time we'll convene, or we'll adjourn the salary board and reconvene the commissioners' public meeting at this time. Go ahead.
And now moving on to action. 8.1.
You have to do the TDA.
Yeah, wait, 7, we're on 7. DD actions. We gotta go back to
Excuse
C.
me, yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
keep you on your toes.
Commissioner seeking,
Howie?
where,
Yeah.
seeking your approval. Wait a minute, we just did that.
Now, the TDA actions. C,
Yep,
last page.
which is the same thing we did.
Exactly.
Commissioner seeking your approval on the following TDA actions as outlined in attachments. What's going on today? In the Department of Public Safety, request to approve the 911 telecommunicator bonus program from December 2022 through December 2025. In the Conservation District, request to add a temporary agricultural technician position to the TDA until January 12, 2024. And in the District Attorney's Office, request to add a temporary chief detective position from December 11, 2023 through December 31, 2023.
Okay, motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. so
Thank you.
carried.
Now on action.
Now you can move on to action.
All right, Commissioners, we're seeking your approval on the mutual settlement agreement and release for Lowball et al. Litigations. And I've got Solicitor Wiley here to answer any questions.
This is very good news.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to be in front of you today with the settlement of the Lobar case. As you're all aware, this has been a long, hard-fought battle, but I'm pleased that we've reached a very positive settlement
10
for
years.
the county. The case, it's been going on for 10 years, probably officially, with filings since 16 or 17. So it's been a struggle that is over with a good result. It would be inappropriate of me to stand up here and not thank the team members who worked on this. This has been a team effort. So in addition to the commissioners working us through this process, I'd like to thank Matt McDermott, Jason Yorks, Michael Natton, who's lived with this the whole time, Tony Eith from CEC, who's been one of our experts, who's been very essential to the resolution of the case, and then also Ed Zimmel, who was the geotextile liner expert that we found in Texas, who ended up really helping bring this case to fruition, not only in terms of our positions litigating the case, but also in terms of assisting with finding the solution and the implementation of the solution. There are others, but that's really the key members of the team, and appropriate for me to thank all of them involved as well.
Thank you. We also want to thank Mark Lebecchio, who also joined the team.
Correct.
past year was instrumental also in the
He was very
negotiations.
helpful to the process,
Yeah.
yes. And as was Solicitor Smith and other members of our team at McCormick. Yeah. So it's a settlement of all claims, and so all parties are releasing all claims. This total settlement package is $2.91 million. It is split into payments amongst the various defendants as set forth in the agreement. It has the standard clauses that you would expect in a settlement agreement in terms of the full extent of the release, no admission of liability, etc. However, ultimately, once this is signed, within 30 days, the county will be receiving an aggregate of $2.335 million, and then the balance of the $575,000 will be received on or before January 15th of next year. So we should be whole with the entire $2.91 million by January 15th. Do the commissioners have any questions about the agreement?
That's just a welcome to receive almost $3 million back in the county general fund.
Correct. And this sum more than adequately takes care of the repairs.
So, Mike, just for someone who's out in the audience who hasn't been stay tuned every week to the low bar excitement.
Hasn't lived it every day?
Right. Just tell them what, in general terms, we know that there is no admission of liability by anyone, but what was it? Was it a plane that went down and crashed into the county? Was it?
There's one word that's been thrown around quite a bit.
Yeah, what-
Leachate.
Right. But what was it? Just tell people what it was.
Sure. So Lobar was the contractor, the general contractor, to construct a leachate holding tank at the county landfill. The tank itself was 7.5 million gallons. It's huge. If you haven't seen it, it's a very large tank.
Yes.
Although there are no admissions of liability, obviously the tank didn't work from the county's perspective as it was intended to work. There were filings related to that, back and forth related to that. Ultimately, the solution is to replace the liner system. So the tank itself is a concrete shell, and then inside the concrete shell is a liner. It's for lack of a better way of it, it's geotextile, it's plastic liner that then prevents leachate, the water that comes through the landfill, from escaping into the environment. So the way the tank's supposed to function is the liner's supposed to hold the leachate, that's the primary containment system, and then the concrete tank is there as secondary system. And so what was happening, what was the issue in the lawsuit, was the liner was not functioning as intended. County went through the process of trying to fix that, find leaks, fix it, but ultimately came to the conclusion, with the help of our experts, that we weren't going to be able to work with the liner that was installed, and therefore another liner contractor was selected, a new liner was installed. That's in the process of getting finally approved by DEP, and the tank should be functional here in the not too distant future and permitted.
And yeah, no, that's great. And for the public, the DEP monitors how much the tank liner doesn't work.
Correct.
And so they come in and they test it initially, and then they monitor it, and the landfill is required to file reports of how much is leaking out. And the leakage was past what the DEP allowed, and so the DEP said you can't use it. It's shutting it down, right?
Well, essentially, it was not working as it was permitted.
Right, as was
And-
permitted, right?
Correct.
The permit from DEP.
DEP, you were only supposed, it's essentially a no-leak liner system,
Right,
and it wasn't working the way it was intended. The new contractor has come forward and is putting a system in place that'll meet the standard. And just in terms of what this means is, having a functional leachate tank was essential to increasing the fields at the landfill. So to extend the landfill, to have new fields, to continue the operations of the landfill, you needed a functioning leachate tank, which we're going to have now, and it's being paid for by those who are not admitting responsibility.
right. Now, it is really good news because of the last point you made. We couldn't really continue on to build out the fields of the landfill that we need and that we want to do without this. And so we are grateful that you got it settled, and that we thank all the folks involved. It has been, since the first day I came in 8 years ago, and It actually had started before I came in, probably.
Started 2013.
Yeah. So, but the litigation began in 2016.
2016,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been a long process, but a very solid resolution to it. And
And we-
again, thank you to everyone involved, as
And I
I've
just want
mentioned.
to also note that the 2.91 settlement that the county receives of your fees that you'll be receiving also
We
does
got-
not include that, right?
No, we were just paid on a regular hourly basis. You were paying that as it on goes. But in terms of what the settlement represents, we believe that you're going to be able to pay for not only the repair of the tank, but also cover any fees that were incurred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clarify that. Thank you.
And we do thank the firm McCormick for the work you did. It was not an easy one, and as you said, everyone, Jason, Matt, Michael, Matt, and all the people behind the scenes.
It was a very good team effort, and I appreciate the team I had working with me to get this done. Thank
Commissioner, you've been here the longest. Any comments?
You guys said it all. It's difficult. It was a difficult case, especially when they interpreted a tank as to no leaks. And that there was the problem in itself, because the other, well, we don't call them tanks, but the reservoirs that hold leachate, they're permitted to leak X amount. When I say leak, not into the waters, public water system, but back into a reservoir to be pumped back in.
Ultimately, through this process, Commissioner, the county will have a tank that functions as it was intended.
And that was
That was the
very
goal.
difficult.
And that was the goal.
Which we paid a lot of money for in the beginning, right?
Yeah, originally, the cost of the project was $5.7 million.
Right. So we paid 5.7 million. We had serious problems with it to the point where the state said, no, you're not using it, therefore you can't expand your landfill, you can't open additional fields. So obviously the litigation was extremely important, not only to make sure the taxpayers were protected, but to make sure that we could move ahead with the landfill.
Future use?
Correct.
And just for your information, that it is so heavy that they had to drill to put columns down, what, how many feet below the tank?
Yeah, there are piers,
Piers.
numerous piers, that's.
Disperses the weight, that's how heavy it is.
And from an engineering standpoint, it's a very fascinating project,
It
just in
is.
terms of weight and pressure and
Yep.
thickness of concrete and how liners work.
But that's to provide the safety necessary
Correct.
to operate.
So I do have the signature page as well, so if you do take action to approve, I would just be asking for it to be signed so we can, I have the signatures from the other parties in hand.
I have a motion to take action on 8.1.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Thank you.
It's nice to leave office and know that this is done. It's one less big headache.
Well, it took less than half the time to acquire.
DOT property.
Yeah.
That might have been longer than 20 years.
No, I know. I said it
In
took
both
less
cases,
than half.
They're two big accomplishments.
Yeah.
And it's always nice to see $2.9 million coming back into the general fund.
Just need Mr. McDermott. We'll process this then and move forward.
That money will also help our fund balance. It goes right to the bottom line of the fund balance, which is great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 8.2.
All right, Nikki. Payment of the balance for the actuarial determined employer contribution.
Good morning,
Good
Commissioner.
morning. Could you
So-
put the microphone a little bit closer
Yeah.
to you? Thank you.
So our estimated ADEC for 2023 was $68,086, which you approved and we paid in January. The actual ADEC for 2023 is $636,778. That leaves a remaining balance of $568,692.
Okay. Have a motion.
I'll move to approve.
A second.
Comments or questions?
So the ADEC, the actuarial determined employer contribution, is what our actuary determines that the employer needs to contribute to keep the pension fund in a positive solvent position. So one way of looking at it is that on behalf of the employees who work tens of thousands of hours, if you take that number and you divide it by all the hours that county employees work, it means that the employer has contributed, in this case, probably about 75 cents an hour.
Not too much.
Not too much.
Yeah.
But what it does mean is that it's the employer's commitment to keeping the pension fund strong. Employees at the county, for the public to understand, put 8% of their own commitment.
Minimum of 8, up to 18%.
Right, but it comes out of their check, it's their money. The ADEC is the portion that the county commits to say, listen, we're going to do our bit to make sure that we have people retire with dignity in a defined contribution benefit plan. And so, unfortunately, there was a little bit of a miscalculation with the 68,000 by the actuary.
And it's not really a miscalculation, it's
Okay.
the returns on our investments. He does this in September of the previous year, so looking ahead, that's where that's coming from. We
Okay.
didn't have a great year.
Yeah.
2023 was tough, but.
On the investments, and the good point. I'm glad you pointed that out because I don't want to malign somebody. And it was not so much then a mistake as it was the fact that the markets did not do as well.
Right.
Right. Thanks. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to state that over the past probably 10, 12 years that the county has been contributing, 10 or 11 years, that the county's been contributing about $2 million a year into this fund. And why do I bring that up? Because our fund balance was anywhere from, not fund balance, our percentage of having it fully funded was anywhere from 96% to over 100% at one time. Okay, and if you compare that to the state, where I think the last time I've seen the state's pension was unfunded by $80 billion. So $80 billion. Now to the state and federal government, I guess that doesn't sound like a lot of money. Okay, but I think what's very important for the public and county employees to know is that when you start to hear representatives, whether they're legislators or they're in an agency wanting to combine funds, no, I'll quote President Biden, no. Okay, we've done the responsible thing. And it's tough. I mean, as a leader of the community, and we've raised taxes twice in 20 years. Since 2024, county taxes has been raised only twice. That's amazing. And yet, we took our obligation seriously, and we did the right thing, although, man, sometimes it's difficult. So, pay attention, because there are a lot of things in the state that are not funded, and they just print the money. So,
And our retirement fund's one of the best in the country.
yeah, it is.
And it's because we've taken responsibility and a proactive approach to make sure it's funded, unlike what the state has done. And our retirees can be assured when they be there, and that way they have a good retirement.
And we do have a board, for the pension, but the ultimate decision lies with the commissioners.
And commissioners, you did budget 1.69 million for 2023 for the ADEC. And you had asked at the last retirement board meeting, in 2024, it is also set at 1.69, which it won't be that high.
And that is good news. So, Commissioner, your comment about the state, that $80 billion is a lot of money. Consider that the annual state budget this year, I think, is about 42 or 44 billion. So that would be analogous to us, where our budget's 100 million, having a pension fund that owed 2 years worth of budget. right? So it isn't a small factor to keep that pension fund, and it's important to know that you can't really catch up. It's hard when you don't take responsibility on a year-to-year basis, and then 5 years goes by and you try to catch up. That's what happened with the state. They made some bad decisions in 2000 that have lived with us for now over 20 years. So
They're required by law to have a deferred pension plan.
right, we're right.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up though, Nikki, because I'm not sure if I caught that as I'm reviewing the budget process right now. We probably found, 15 things that we need to change.
Yeah, and I can send Eric an
Please.
updated number. Yeah, I will do that.
So we have as accurate as we could, can. All right,
Okay, motion,
I'll move to approve.
second,
I'll second
all
that.
in favor, say aye.
Aye. And it is Nikki who makes sure that all the money gets paid out, where the funds come from. This lady right here plays a major role in our county. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Just quickly, one lump sum payment, correct, into the retirement fund? Okay.
Okay, 8.3, Maya.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
First item I have for you is a vote to approve grant and monitoring agreement with UPMC. This is for the same program, which is known as the Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner Program. It's in the amount of $10,825. This will help provide the needing training that's needed for their nurses there. I think they're looking to do 5 nurses, and that'll help assist them in that effort.
Okay, a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
This is extremely important. This was initially brought to us by District Attorney Ryan Gardner a few years ago, where it was addressing rape victims and having nurses trained with the rape kits and then how to testify properly in court. It has now expanded to all sexual assault victims, including children, which is extremely important. If you talk to the district attorney, their sex assault cases have exploded over the last several years. So it's vital that the evidence is properly handled and that the nurses are trained properly how to testify so that we can maintain convictions and make sure that the perpetrators in these horrendous cases are prosecuted and convicted.
Absolutely.
And this is discretionary, right? We do not have to fund this as county commissioners. We do. But I would say in the future that because the courts have their own funds, they get their own fees in something, maybe we could ask the courts or find out if legally, they can use some of that money instead of the general fund.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
Also, maybe the DA. The DA.
I did reach out to the DA. Unfortunately, he cannot,
He cannot.
because it has to be drug related.
Right,
Yeah.
I think he told us that, which is why he came to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the need is important, because if we have an offender who we think is engaged in this, and we don't have the nurses who are trained to be able to properly testify, and so forth.
Okay, a motion?
I'll move to approve.
A second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried.
The next item I have is vote to approve 911 statewide interconnectivity funding grant agreement with Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. It's in the amount of $100,371.25. I don't know, Beth, I'm sure is still on because she has other items. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about it, but $25,000 will go towards the NG 911 GIS post-migration, and then the remainder of the funds, $75,371.25, will go for the ILEC post-migration legacy project.
Okay, a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Beth, any comments?
This is just funding for now that we have switched over to Next Gen through PEMA
Okay.
phones. And that's what this is for.
Okay, motion second, all in favor, say aye.
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 So carried.
And the last item I have for you is vote to approve agreement with McClure Company. It's an amount of $325,000. This is to assist us in our efforts with the sanitary piping in the courthouse basement.
Okay, a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
This is an extremely important item. We have had an issue with this going on for probably 20 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's been this way since I've been here,
Yeah,
so.
where we have a downpour. We get a lot of rain in a short period of time.
It's not good.
It's not good. And you have to shut down the elevator in the back.
Mhm.
You can actually hear the water coming down through the elevator like a waterfall.
Mhm.
And I've been down there, we have storage room for adult probation. I've been down there trying to keep the water from going into the storage room. And it's not just water,
No,
it's sewage too.
yes,
And with our courthouse renovations, we have to get this fixed. It's
absolutely.
absolutely critical. It's unsanitary, unhealthy, and it's long overdue.
Now, is that just the engineering cost?
That is, yes.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
He's gonna be an engineer in his next life.
Now, this is to
They have
actually
a
do the
good
pipe
lobbying group.
installation and all, everything that's needed for it.
And this is a project that is not only with, through McClure,
Right.
but it's also in coordination with the Water and Sewer Authority, everybody.
This is another ongoing problem that it's nice to leave and know it's fixed. And it isn't as though we didn't try along. It's not like we just said, oh, let it flood, but it.
We did fix it at one point.
Check valve.
Right.
There was a lever that was put on and it stopped it.
Right.
And it cost about $11,000.
The backflow preventer.
Backflow,
yeah.
yep. And
Yeah.
that stopped it for a few
Few
years.
years,
but
and
This
then
is
it
gonna,
failed again.
this is gonna completely correct the issue.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's long overdue.
I know the sheriff will be happy.
And the sheriff will be extremely happy.
Sheriff, will you be happy?
I just want to know if they're going to start this century.
And
So,
to understand why, it's because the city has a
Combined.
combined system
Mhm.
where their sewer, and you would understand it, but a lot of people wouldn't, where the sewer and the stormwater are using one pipe.
Right.
So,
Which was not uncommon when the system was put in probably the late 1800s or
Well,
early
once
1900s.
once it's higher than the other and the gravity, so,
Okay.
And Sheriff, they are expected to start work
I get
immediately
there.
upon execution, so.
Thank you. I'll get a shovel and help it.
I want a picture of that.
You're gonna need a big shot.
Can I ask-
Sure.
yes.
We didn't have to bid this out because it's in.
They're on CoStarz.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
All fair side?
Aye.
So carried.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, I'm gonna call 8.7 and 8.6 for Nancy. First, Commissioner, seeking your approval of the agreement with Cardio for Days LLC. This is a 2023-2024 budgeted item. This is another provider that JPO uses. Just another new contract. It's in-home systemic therapy service. There are multiple services offered at different prices. It's another toolbox for JPO.
Okay.
And they may or may not use some of these,
Right.
depending on what they need. A list of classes offered.
Right.
That motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
So carried.
Commissioner, seeking your approval for the agreement with Drug and Alcohol Rehabilitation Services, Inc. This is a 2023-2024 budgeted item, and this is for adolescent inpatient rehabilitation and independent living services. This is the Manos House. Looks like it's $217.02 per day. And supervised independent living at $232.84.
That motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
All right, 8.8, Malik.
Morning, Malik.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners.
Seeking your approval for the amendment to the subrecipient agreement with Montrose Borough. This is for their Act 13 project. It's a 6-month extension until June. And they're constructing the project right now. They should wrap it up in early spring. So this is one of the last projects that needs completion for Act 13 mini grant.
Okay, a motion.
I'll move to approve.
A second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Thank you.
Is there anybody on the line from RMS? All right, if not, I'll table. Commissioner, seeking your approval for the purchase of HDPE piping for RMS from Core in Maine in the amount of $13,230. This is a 2023 budgeted item. Additional HDPE piping CoStar's contract. The HDP piping, as you know, we use for leachate gas projects on the lake.
Okay, and this is a,
It's
budget
budgeted, yeah.
item, okay. A motion,
I'll move to approve.
A second.
all fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
8.10 and 11, Beth.
Good morning, Evening Commissioners.
Good morning.
8.10 is an agreement with Keystone Communications. This agreement covers our backup radio system and our backup 911 center over at TSP. Also the alarm systems at all of our tower sites, our key call system. It is a 2024 budgeted item.
Okay, a motion,
I'll move to approve.
A second.
all fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
And 8.11 is the contract with Keystone Communications, and this is for the maintenance of our current radio system, which this will be in effect until the new radio system comes online, which will be under warranty for 1 year, and then we'll figure out what to do with the maintenance on that at that time.
A motion,
I'll move to approve.
Second.
all fair side?
Aye.
Aye,
Thank you, Commissioners.
thank you.
8.12, Malik, I don't know why you got split.
Seeking your approval for the subrecipient monitoring agreement with STEP Inc. in the amount of $200,000 for the 2023 Fair Funds for the Homes in Need project program.
A motion,
I'll move to approve.
A second.
and this is good news because this is going to that Home in Needs program, which is heavily used in our area.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
It's one of the largest we received.
Yeah, it
as
is.
well.
It's great news. All fair side?
Aye.
So carried.
8.13, seeking your approval for the subrecipient monitor agreement with STEP Inc. in the amount of $50,000 for their urgent needs program.
Okay, motion.
I'll move to
A
approve.
second.
I just want to thank STEP for the hard work they do and these different programs they do for the need that's in our area. We just received word from Michelle the other day about the rental assistance program come to an end and how they had allocated $15 million monies to people that were in need over the last several years through the rental assistance and through the utility program, payment program. So we want to thank STEP for all their programs that they do, including these two.
You know, this brings me up to a comment. And I think, I hope people listen. We have a lot of people that need help in this community. I got a phone call from a lady whose father and her are disabled and they live in a mobile home. And none of the programs had any money at the time, or they were on a waiting list of 8,000 or 800. And their roof was leaking, right? In several places. And I felt bad, so I went up, I bought some through the roof on my boots to go up, and I was afraid to walk on the roof because it's metal. And I've been on plenty of roofs in my life, but I never was on a roof that, you know, when you stepped on the metal, and all the repairs and all the sealers that they had put on there and tar was cracked. And so I told the gentleman, I said, I can't do this. I'm going to make it worse. And I, don't have enough experience to get it repaired. So I called Rochelle. And I think she found a way to move him up under the situation. But here's a gentleman. Trailer was clean. It was old. It was clean. Nice people. Probably very little income. And when we talk about the struggles of our seniors and our disabled, and you start to hear, well, the food prices are going like this because our labor rate went way up. Because we're asking for, I can give you a number of government things that are just bad for our people. Raising minimum wage to $15 will hurt this person even more. They don't make that much money, but we will pass on the cost. And so as we continue, this insanity of not raising the prevailing wage limits and things like that, it's insane. We're going to have to fund programs just so that they can survive. And I'm sure he's just one of thousands.
So this program, the 50,000 here, is a program we began about 8 years ago, I think. It was the emergency repair, and we're able to use state funds. Those are fair funds, so they're not local funds. But for the new commissioners, when you find a need in the community, you can try, and Commissioners McKernan and you and I put this together. We allocated 25,000 of the fair funds the first year. We now have upped it to 50,000 for these very situations. Remember, we had somebody a tree fell on their house and they had no insurance. They were in a wheelchair and they couldn't get the tree removed. They couldn't get the roof fixed. So the bigger questions you raise are more complicated because the person making 15 an hour is probably a young person, very likely a single mother with children working to try to, and so she's trying to struggle on $10 an hour, and I see this all the time. And I'll tell you the way our employers in the community could help. Oftentimes we find people who will say, well, there's no work for me right now at XYZ company, so they laid us all off for 2 weeks. So imagine in your life if you have a job and then all of a sudden they tell you, hey, you know what, for 2 weeks, we're not going to pay you. I think as employers, we have a responsibility to figure out a way to keep people employed continuously. Unemployment is the death sentence for working families. Whether you lose 2 weeks here and 2 weeks there, or whether you lose a job. And I'm not talking about people who don't want to work. I'm talking about people who are working, because I hear this often in a number of different fields, including in the home healthcare field, where people are taking care of people in their homes for agencies. So, and we know those employers have challenges. I'm not being flippant about it. It's just that it's a big complicated problem. You're absolutely right.
I'm going to give you another example. Okay, Malik, you've been around for a while, and Jen has been around for a while now. And the fair funds, which we get off of gas royalty.
Right.
Okay. Those fair funds have added up just in the program, probably maybe $2.5 million since the inception. Not to mention what we receive as a community for the fair funds. And we have administrations that are against natural gas, that limit the productivity, that are trying to change this new green agenda. I'm not saying that the green agenda is bad, terrible, But I'm saying, you shut this industry down, which they're trying to do, and especially in the state by increasing the offsets, offsets by 15 to 2,500 feet. You're gonna shut it down, okay? And all the money that we receive from FAIR, all the money that the counties receive from the Act 13 is gone. And it's gonna be gone in 15 years anyway, if they don't change the legislation, which you were a big advocate of saying, I remember all the data that you kept, which was legitimate. And now, in hindsight, absolutely correct. So, but.
15 years have gone by.
Yeah, well, not 15, 11.
11.
12
Right.
years, yeah.
Right.
So the question is where do we get the money once that runs out? And because the needs, we see the needs, and we make decisions based on those needs. And wow, I mean, for the new commissioners coming in, you gotta keep your finger on that pulse and fight, so.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all fair side?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Malik, you've spurred quite a discussion here.
Was Jamie Shorter?
He's a man of many
able to
words.
on the phone?
Jamie, are you still on?
I'm here.
814, seeking your approval for the professional and administrative services agreement with CEDACOG, an amount of $67,500 for the ARC grant that was funded. And this is a pass-through to the Williamsport Water and Sewer Authority. Water and Sewer Authority. Excuse me.
I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any. We're getting ready to do our kickoff meeting for that ARC grant process. I think that's late next week, so we're moving forward.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Any questions for either Malik or Jamie?
Yeah,
Yes,
not questions.
comments?
Yeah, yesterday, we were talking about the ARPA money, right? And here again, I'm gonna be critical. I'm walking out, right? But once that was passed, that we're gonna get trillions of dollars, whatever, okay? And our community was gonna receive X amount of dollars from this fund, right? They based it off of what? Population? What do they base it off of?
I think they based it off of population,
Population.
and in particular census data on those programs that are targeted towards underserved communities, poor
But-
communities.
But from,
But Jamie, is she still on the line? She might be.
Yes,
I'm here.
okay.
It's been a long time since we talked about what that money was based on, but I believe you're right, it was the census data for
Right.
population.
And so then you have, what is the agency that's handling, the Treasury?
Yeah.
Okay, so they have an idea of what we're going to do, but the policies aren't in place yet, right? And we are the government, people. This is what we always have to look at this. And so they didn't have the rules really quick for us. The rules that were implemented because of the amount of money gave us deadlines. Now we just got another issue, and these are complex, when we're handing out $22 million, there's a lot of thinking and thought and timing and supply chain issues and, companies that can even do this stuff to limit it to 2 years. Okay? And then have it spent by 2026?
Right.
Whatever it is. But, and I want to thank CEDACOG because they're on top of it. And yesterday, they informed us that, well, if you have to have a contract signed by the end of 2024. It must be signed. Now, there are a lot of things that come up during the process, but here's one that nobody thought of, obviously, until now, was that if the job came in under, and it was overbid, and it came under budget. that money no longer stays with us. It goes back to the state. And why should it go back to the state? Because of something. You figured out that this is what we should receive. We're following the rules, and 2 years later, you come up with something like this. And I'm not saying it can happen, because most things do go up, you know. But the simple fact in reality is there are times where our people can bring the bid down from the contract. And now it's too late because the time has expired to use that extra money. We have to send it in. You know, call your legislators. Put pressure on these agencies and departments to say, that's just not fair. Okay. If we say nothing, nothing will get done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Khan.
Thank you, Jamie. Commissioner comments, either one?
Yeah. Go ahead, you
Well,
start.
I think we should, a number of months ago, we talked about a program called Arcturus.
Yes, which will be placed on the agenda next week.
Right. So we would like feedback from the public. People may or may not remember this. And we were approached by the First Community Foundation Partnership, which had seen this Arcturus investment fund function in other places. And they basically said, look, if the county commits 1.25 million and the city commits 1.25 million and the chamber commits 1.25 million, the foundation will put in 1.25 million, that's $5 million. This investment fund will bring in $20 million. And they will select a project based on recommendations from an advisory board, but we will not have control over what the project is. And we are what's called first loss capital, meaning that our money will be returned after the investors in the fund get their money and after certain expenses are paid and so forth. So the commissioners need to decide whether we're going to commit 1.25 million in this way. Now, interestingly enough, the chamber members voted in a secret ballot vote, I think 20 to 24, or was it 24 to 4?
That's short. It was 4 people voted against it.
Yeah, but I think 20 or 24 voted for it, to do it, to commit, to have the chamber commit money. Has city council voted on it? Not yet. And the foundation has committed to moving forward. So on the positive side of doing this, it's an opportunity to bring $25 million of investment to Williamsport. Now, the reason it's in Williamsport is because this is what's called a qualified opportunity zone investment, which is the result of the 2017 Tax Act that President Trump and the Congress passed at that time. And the only 2 qualified opportunity zones are in the city of Williamsport. Those are based on census tracts and poverty levels and so forth. The belief is that by bringing $25 million of capital into the community, that we will spur other investment and that there'll be a positive development impact. I have spoken in favor of this, and the reason I'm in favor of it is because while I know that there are downsides, one of them being that we don't have control over it, and the second one being that we don't necessarily positively get our money back, it's not often that we get $25 million of investment in the community. The ARPA funds that Commissioner Massera referred to, 22 million went to the county. The city got 25 million. And that's probably the first time ever that the city got that much federal money in one shot.
We had 26 million.
26 million. So we would like feedback from the public. I certainly would. You can call us at the office here. We can use, I think we can use Act 13 money, right?
I'm not sure.
We're going to try to use Act 13 money. But it's an opportunity to try to kickstart continued investment that would hopefully work to try to increase the population of the county and move us ahead. When are we scheduled to vote on that? Next week?
I'm going to put it on the agenda for next week.
Okay.
It's two hot topics we're going to vote on by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That's one of them. There will be reassessment. They'll both be on the agenda by the end of the year to
I don't know if
discuss.
my colleagues want to comment on Arcturus at all.
I'll just say this, I've been on the fence and I'm going back and forth, but if you're a businessman, someone approaches you about taking $1.25 million of your money and investing it in something that you don't know what they're going to invest it in, and you have no control over it, are you going to make that move? And that's where I'm at right now, because this investment firm has had success elsewhere, but they're from out of the area. We don't know who they are. We know, obviously, they want to make money. They've made money, and they're taking this as an approach to make additional money. But they can bring anything into the city of Williamsport, and we have no say over it. There's an advisory committee, but that's exactly what it is. It's an advisory committee. And if they see something that they want to make money on, they're going to go ahead and put it up and invest it. And it might be something that our community might not want, might not need. And so that's where I'm at. If we had more control over it, or if we knew exactly what they were going to be doing, for instance, if they were going to bring something along the need of a large-scale child care facility that we need in this area, that's something favorable. But if they're going to bring something in that is not favorable for this community, then, and again, we're giving them the money. It's not a loan. It's not a loan. We're not going to get it back. And
But we may get it back.
It may take a decade till you see a return on investment. And I can continue to go back to, when you're in business, you want to have control over something, especially when you're handling your money, and we're handling taxpayers' money. And it's a huge risk, not knowing what they're going to do with it.
Just to clarify a couple of points, it's not like we don't know the outfit. I mean, they've been vetted by.
They're very successful.
Yeah, they've been vetted. I mean, they've been vetted by a subcommittee of the.
Well, I'm saying they're not from our community.
No, they're not. There's no question
Right.
they're not from our community. They're an investment fund out of Boston, but they've been vetted by a subcommittee of the First Community Foundation Partnership by people who deal.
I'm not questioning their integrity at all.
All right, I just
Why
want
are
to
they-
clarify.
why are
I don't
they-
want the public to
why
think
are
we're
they
just
coming?
writing checks to people we don't know.
But tell them why they're coming here.
Right. The reason they're coming here is because of the fact that.
Federal,
What's that?
the federal.
The Federal Qualified Opportunity Zone, right. They only invest in Federal Qualified Opportunity Zones. So it says to have a Federal Qualified Opportunity Zone means you're poor. That's what it means. It means you're economically behind the eight ball. And we need to realize that. It doesn't mean we're bad people. It means that our economy is not moving and growing, and the population is not moving and growing in the way it needs to be. And so the goal is to take the investment, and we have told them there's certain things we don't want. We told them we don't want low-income housing. We told them that we don't want investment in any project that the four partners have already invested in. So for example, if the county's already committed $1.5 million to a project, we don't want to, through the back door, be putting more money in that we don't know. And they've agreed to these terms. So part of the reason for having their decision-making, and by the way, when we loaned the mall developers $5 million, we know that they're going to try to develop the mall, but we don't know specifically what they're going to do. And frankly, some people criticized us for it, but we explained that part of a development scheme is you don't want to show your cards. If I'm trying to get XYZ business in here, I don't want some developer who's doing them all down in Danville. So you're right, we don't know exactly what they're gonna do. We know what they've done in other places. And we hope through the advisory committee to influence them. For example, Commissioner Metzger mentioned a large early learning facility. We know that when you get to volumes of 200 or 250 kids, you can actually make money in early learning. When you have smaller facilities, it's harder to. You know, if we could get them to come in and build an early learning facility for 250 kids, oh my gosh, that means that we get all those parents back into the workforce. And it also means that we start developing a workforce for tomorrow with those kids who are now 3 years old. You know, and 15 years goes by, bam, they're in our workforce. So, but anyway, that's,
Yeah, I'll talk about it next week.
okay.
Yeah.
But I do,
Give us some feedback.
but I do have one of my final stories here.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You have a story.
Okay, so I promise you I'll give you a story on my way out.
Well, this one has pictures.
So this is about what makes you or keeps you motivated and why you do the things that you do and how important it is to stay motivated and what vehicles can you use to do so. So I'm going to go back to when I was in business and I knew I wanted to run for county commissioner and I planned on running for county commissioner in 2016, right? And there was a project here in Williamsport. It was the convention center. And a bunch of us and the developers themselves thought that this would be a great thing for Williamsport and Lycoming County to put one in. But not so much for the county commissioners. This is happening back in 2010 or 2011. No, actually 2009. And so a group of concerned citizens did what you normally do. You lobby your legislators, you lobby the people in charge, you ask them questions, da-da-da-da-da. So we didn't get the response that we thought we would get. That they just weren't going to do it. They weren't going to approve it. And so when I happened to have an opportunity to meet one of them, I just asked why. Why? And they wouldn't answer me. I said, well, that doesn't even make sense. Why won't you answer my question? Why don't you want it? So she said, I'm just not going to do it. I don't care. This is a republic, right? I'm not always going to vote on things that the public may think I should. But I represent you. So anyway, I decided that I was just going to go out and get some signatures of prominent people in this community that would love to see a convention center. I got 75 signatures. And the value, their worth as far as what was on the books for their assessed value of properties were over $225 million. It's a lot of money, right? And I met with the commissioner and I was proud. I did this all in 3 days. I gave the list. I said, well, what do you think about that? I'm still not voting for it. And my comment was, then I'll go get you 20,000. No, I'll go get you 500 more signatures. The meeting's coming up in 3 days. And the response was, where is that? The response was, you could bring me 20,000 signatures, and I'm still not going to vote for that motivated me. That motivated me to run for county commissioner in 2012 instead of 2016. And so within 3 days, we put together a little demonstration out in front of the court, out in front of this building. We had about 80 people. We had Louis Mealy make us signs. We walked around this building, the courthouse, back up to the alley and come across. We did our chants. We had Gary Christmas on the radio bring Gail Bear here with the microphone. This was probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. Gary and I were working at 5 o'clock in the morning to get his people riled up on the radio, right? So Gail was here to sweeten them up with donuts. But anyway, to make a long story short, we packed this place. And for about 20 minutes, they told us why it wasn't a good idea. But in the end, they voted for it. Okay? So you speak out, okay, and you must be passionate about something. Being a county commissioner, you make decisions. It's tough. It's not always something that you agree with, you know, right? We don't always have 3-0 votes, but we have debate, right? But what keeps you motivated? Well, that picture kept me motivated. I had it right across my desk. And keep your finger on the pulse of the working people. Keep your finger on the pulse of the poor. Because inevitably, they outnumber all of us. It's nice to be business owners. It's nice to be successful. It's nice to be, you know, have a decent income. But that's not the norm. Not in our community. So you have to always fight to do the right things and bring in the right programs, you know? I can say this, that regardless of the accomplishments that you might have, okay, stay humble and keep your finger on that pulse of those people. And regardless of your failures, right, you learn from them. You have to learn from them. But don't let your failures stop you from leading, stop you from making decisions. And I read a little thing a couple weeks ago, and I'm just ad-libbing. I can't remember the entire quote, but it said, "The roads are filled with dead squirrels that could not make a decision." Make decisions. Vet them. We're going to have 2 big decisions here before the end of the closing, right? Reassessment is a big decision. We want feedback now. It needs to be done, in my opinion. This is the opportunity to take advantage of this. I can't guarantee you what company it would be if we do pass. I can't guarantee you that. We've looked at other counties that have done reassessments, and what we don't want is one that was done like in 2004, where the common level ratio was already 10 points off, and we just got done doing it. Okay, you have if this does go through, you have to educate the public and let them know why and how it's going to benefit. But you know, write things down on this card carrier. I have be part of the solution, right? Because if you're not part of the solution, you're not helping, right? And inside of it, I have the quote, "You can bring me 20,000. These keep you motivated." And it's not easy to make some of the decisions you have to as a commissioner.
Thank you. Commissioner, you have any?
Well, on the issue of reassessment, we really do want the public's input, but we really, more importantly, want the public to become educated about the reassessment process, because we can vote for reassessment, and the public could push the next Board of Commissioners to reverse it, and to say, no, we're not going to do it. And so it's incumbent upon all of us to become informed about the facts. When the common level ratio, which is now at
I think it's 51.
0.51, it means that we are being forced to give reductions in taxes that go across the board because we changed the assessed value of the property. We're being forced to reduce the amount of revenue school districts get, municipalities get, and counties get, because our common level ratio is lower than what the fair market value of the property is. So someone who comes in for an appeal, a large commercial big box store that comes in for an appeal, if they bring us an appraisal that shows that, even if they bring us an appraisal that shows that it's slightly less than the assessed value now, they get the common level ratio applied, which means that they get a reduction in the assessed value. And then accordingly, we have to reduce all the taxes. So what does it mean if we have to raise revenue? Because, look, no one wants to raise taxes. I mean, just take that public as a given. We don't want to raise taxes. But the reality is, when the price of oil goes up, it trickles down into everything we do. The carpet that we buy goes up. The fuel we buy, the drywall, whatever it is. When healthcare goes up, everything goes up. And so inevitably, costs are going to go up. And so when you don't do a reassessment, you're forced to raise taxes to basically get to the same level of revenue you're bringing in. There's a difference between not spending money wisely and having a fair and equitable tax system. And so part of this reassessment is to try to make sure we have an equitable tax system. And I said this at other meetings, but I think the public really needs to understand this. If I build a home today, they base the value of the home on the cost of the materials in 2004. Think about that. Anyone who's gone out to replace something in your home, the new home gets the value of the materials in 2004 because that's when the last reassessment was done. It blew my mind when I learned that. It meant that if you build $1 million house, you're not paying taxes on $1 million house. And it's not that we're trying to soak certain people, we're trying to be equitable. We're trying to be equitable, but that house is not going to be value assessed at $1 million.
And if I can give the example, what he's talking about, that guy was talking to you about the trailer today, if he owned a trailer, has an assessed value, right? I don't think it's going higher. So if you do nothing, that person is going to get taxed every time. Every time a tax increase from a school district happens, or municipality or county happens, it goes to him. And those values were never changed. They're not in place. They're not the correct values. That's our responsibility as commissioners, to make sure that we have the right values. Now, whether we like it or whether we don't, I'll say it again. We are only one of 6 states in the nation that do not have an automatic reassessment. All the other legislators, they have an automatic reassessment. Now, not all consistent, but regardless, it's not in the hands of the commissioners. Because it's tough. People don't want to do it because they want to get reelected or whatever it is. I don't care what it is. But we would like feedback from the people. Then it's our job to make the right decision.
And when you do a reassessment, you're going to have a change in the common level ratio, that number I told you, over time. One of the reasons that we didn't do reassessment 3 years ago was because we knew that the common level ratio was going to go down a certain amount. It's not an inexpensive thing to do. It's going to cost us probably $3 million.
It'll be up to 4 by 10.
4 million, right? So we said to ourselves, okay, if the common level ratio is at 0.75, and we know after we do a reassessment, at least this is my thought at least, we're going to lose some, we're going to move down some anyway, maybe we have to wait a little bit. Well, we're now at the point where it's at 0.52. Next year, it's supposed to be at 0.48. So that means that to win an appeal, when the big box store comes in, you have to find an appraiser who can challenge the appraisal they bring in, and basically think about that. If it's less than half the value, you got to bring in an appraisal that's almost twice the value, right? To get your 50% off and get it back to where you were. You can't do it because either the appraisals are not accurate then. So it puts us in a real pickle. We can't really, it's hard to win, let's put it that way, in the courts. And to Commissioner Masser's point, that's a really good point, that person will, they'll raise the millage to try to raise the revenue, and the millage will go on those folks. So, the state representatives could pass a law that requires counties to reassess, but they don't want to take the heat for passing a law that basically would require us to do it. So I think at a certain point we need to take the bull by the horn. That's why I hope that people will educate themselves and realize that we do this because it's the right thing to do to try to correct the inequity in the tax system. Interestingly enough, the only course that commissioners are required to take when they get in is a course on assessment. And I just found the notes I had from that course that I took in 2016, and the 2 new commissioners coming in, I think, have already been notified they have to take that course. They told you that at CCAP, right? That's the only course that they absolutely tell you that you're required to take by statute, I think. I think it's by statute they're required. Is it by statute? Not sure. Okay.
Okay, public comment. And if you make a comment, I ask you to please keep your comments brief and to county issues. Public comment. Yes.
Morning, Tom Adams, Williamsport. I got into this. Did have an meeting about the, turning carbon-based materials into graphene with hydrogen as a byproduct. That could be something maybe could be looked into, to work alongside the landfill, because that wouldn't be something that would go gangbusters right away, but it could be developed. And that would produce a lot of income for the county and thereby a way to help. I think part of those funds, if that were ever to happen, could go to help support our farmers at the same time. Just because it has to do with saving our energy sector, and instead of enticing or bothering farmers for wind farms or solar farms, this way they get some help if they need it. And but I think it's something worth looking at. Here's a quote from George Washington. It was the first national public prayer and Thanksgiving. That was in 1789. He made the proclamation October 3rd, and then the October 17th was printed in the Providence Gazette and Country Journal. And it's for November 26th of 1789. But there were hundreds, maybe there were 1,000 different state proclamations throughout the years, before that. He said, whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly and to implore His protection and favor, as in lips. Now therefore I do recommend, lips, that we may there all unite in rendering unto His our sincere and humble thanks for His kind care and protection of the people of this country. And also that we may then unite in most humbly offering our prayers and supplications to the great Lord and ruler of nations, and beseech Him to pardon our national and other transgressions, to promote the the knowledge and practice of true religion and virtue. And you notice in that proclamation, as was most of those proclamations at the birth of our nation and many years after, was a lot of humility and understanding that we're not perfect and that we do need his protection and guidance, and that we do need always improvement, you know, and to always be looking out for each other. And that comes at a time, that short message, they probably printed the whole message, you know, and because at that time they printed complete sermons on their front pages of their papers, the local papers. They were just printed all the time. But that's one thing we can't forget. But I think it's important you do go through the reassessment process. I mean, it just has to make sense. You always have to do it. But also, on the opinion for property tax, it shouldn't be based on value of property. It should just be based on acreage, you know, amount of acreage, and that's it. Because when you base things on value, you're actually punishing people for doing a good job of their, you know, that's how people look at it. It's a punishment. I don't think it's really part of a good republic, you know. But that's what we have right now. Hopefully someday it can change.
See, remember that when this first started, who owned the property?
Yeah.
Wealthy.
Right.
Peasants didn't own property. So this is a way that they try to get it back,
Yeah.
to help with the common good, the defense, you know. So it goes back to that. It's always about worth.
Right.
And nobody obviously found a better way of doing it yet, or they would.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else from the audience? Online?
A few. Jacob Stopper first. Jamie was trying to let us know she needed to call in.
Yeah.
Harper will try. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library, Albert Einstein. MG. Without knowing how money will be invested, we are operating in the dark. Agree with Commissioner Metzger on this point. MG. No to reassessment in PW. We are failing country. We are facing economic hardships. We may be facing WW3 assessment. MG. You are never forced to raise taxes. You should be focused on reducing expenses. MG. All residents and taxpayers who either have a fixed or low income should attend the next meeting of this body and raise a voice in opposition.
Okay, thank you. And one comment on public is please try to visit the 3rd Street Plaza in the old bank area. Salvation Army has their tree set up. They used to be at the mall. They did a feature in the Sun Gazette, I believe it was Monday. The trees have been, since the mall's closed now, the trees have been moved up to the bank area, former bank area, Executive Plaza. It's open for the public to come in and look at the trees and help out the Salvation Army. So I just wanted to add that under public comment. And we're thankful for the Salvation Army and the work they do. Okay. Meeting will be adjourned. We complete our agenda. Our next meeting will be Thursday, December 7th. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Especially the people who had to be here.
Okay, my office is almost cleared out.
How about it? How about it?